who JK's partner is.
Can you check his account real quick? See if he posted.
Well, I was checking HYROXs for different things, but I'll go over to
It's
them.
probably not going to be on HYROX.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in business, my friend. We are
We're
in
up.
business,
We're
my
going.
friend.
Okay. Streaming live to YouTube.
So welcome everybody to this broadcast or rebroadcast of the men's doubles from Manchester. If you don't know me, my name is Matt B. Davis. Behind me is a painting done by my wife. Over there on the other side of the country and the other side of this screen is my main man, one half of the most dynamic duo in hybrid racing, Anthony Peressini. Welcome, Anthony.
Hey, how's it going, Matt?
Good. This episode is indirectly sponsored by Busy Iced Coffee.
I got this mug out specifically for
Listen.
because I
We
knew
we
you
will
were.
forever love Resolute Coffee, but they're not sponsoring it today.
Oh, okay.
But he's forever in our hearts. But I'm drinking home ice brew from Busy. But you should still go. I think my code still works, ORM20.
Okay.
And we're here to talk about the men's doubles because there's a big
Yes.
attempt happening. The bulk pony himself says, F you, I want all the records. And then some other teams said, we'll be there. But then half those other teams aren't really happening because of changes. So why don't you explain those, what we know and don't know, while I pull up the Instagram feed.
Okay. Well, that's what I was trying to find out right now is who's actually racing. We know that Hunter is racing with Michael Sandbach, and we know that JK is racing, but we don't know who his partner is. It originally was going to be Graham Holiday, but Graham's not doing it, and then it was going to be Tom Hogan, and now Tom Hogan's not doing it. So we're still waiting on word of who is his partner going to be. Um, and I've heard of other pairings that are happening, but I'm trying to look them up, and I haven't quite gotten to all of them yet. So I'm
And
oh,
we're going to be
I think I
bringing
can.
you the live feed by Fitness Racing Podcast, aka UKHXR. However, they're not live at the moment. I'll keep refreshing. They were live. He stopped going live. Hopefully, he has signal. I'm going to share a link to this on YouTube.
Oh, I think I'm just going to be able to look up the start list for the pro doubles men.
But even though it won't
It's,
be right, though, right?
well, I mean, it's going to have everybody that's starting in pro doubles, which I just pulled it up. It says Christian Totsky, who we all know Christian of HYROX, co-owner of HYROX. It says his name is on here, so I wonder if he's racing today or running something today. That'd be
Maybe he is.
interesting.
He's got to eat his own dog food, as they say.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do it before, so that's interesting. Let's see if I can
They
find.
started again and it ended again. Now it looks like they're live again. I keep hitting refresh here. Don't worry, all the new viewers will just fast forward to the start, so I don't mind waiting to
Yeah,
find this. Hang on, let me
okay. Well, I
talk to.
got the start list. I'm trying to see if I recognize any names, but holy cow, there's a lot. This name seems familiar. Jake Dearden and Marc Dean. Those names look familiar. Let's see. Oh, James Kelly and Harry Thompson.
Harry Thompson, former guest of our show. Tell everybody what's interesting about Harry while I find this stupid link. Share.
I don't know what's interesting about Harry, so I'm gonna
He
have to look
almost
him
made
up.
he almost made the Elite 15
Did he?
last year. Yeah, he was like right outside it.
Right behind James? Because James was like the one right outside of it, and then only got in because somebody got hurt in the warm up.
All right, we'll go look him up.
So I'm gonna look up Harry Thompson. Harry Thompson, he's the UK guy, originally from the UK, right? Let's see if I can find anything on him. No results found for races this year.
Look up last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do right now.
They haven't started racing, have they?
They shouldn't have, not for another 5 minutes or
Okay.
3 minutes, sorry. Huh. I can't look up last year's Elite 15. Let's see if I can just find this guy on
No,
here.
just type in his name for the season. Come on, you're the one who taught me.
I
how to do
did.
races.
I did, and it didn't give me any results.
For
So
last year.
yeah. So Harry Thompson ran in London 2023 as his best time. He's still on the Elite 15 Elite 30 list. He's currently in 23rd, right above Anas Zuri, who was Hunter's last partner when they raced the doubles open weight. This is Hunter's third time racing doubles this year. His previous two, he was just shy. He partnered with Jonathan Wynn, and then he partnered with Anas Zuri. They were chasing the men's doubles open record. So this is actually a different division they're in now. So the previous men's pro doubles world record, it was only ran once before they announced it at the start of this year. And that was in World Championships last year in Manchester. Colin Stiefer and Taylor Haney won with a time of 54:29, which you would assume that time's probably going to go down today with Hunter and Michael Sandbach running, because Hunter's individual men's pro world record is 53:22. So he's got it by over a minute by himself. His second best time is 54:07 that he ran in Barcelona last year. And even that one beats it by 22 seconds. So you would assume with running a doubles, he'll go even faster than that. But it's really going to come down to the runs and Sandbach staying with him on the runs.
You want to talk about the course? We've got a 2.75 run course.
So 2.75, essentially a 3-lap course. The third time you see the in arch, that's when you go in. And then they have them grouped up. It's not exactly in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in terms of the stations, but stations 1 through 4, once you go in, the first 4 stations are right there. Stations 5 through 8, not exactly in order, but you go down next to the out arch and all the stations are right there. Looks like a pretty good grouping, good fast course, good setup. So this is where Worlds was at last year. So it's not necessarily a fast course. Looks like they're off. There they go.
Well, there's a lot of people on the course. I mean, there's going to be some moving.
Yep.
I mean,
be a lot of moving.
There were some lumbering, slowish, regular folks.
Yeah.
This is going to be super interesting.
I need to move this to a bigger screen of mine here because it's really tiny. So I'm not going to be looking directly at the camera either. But
it's okay. But please don't tell me it looks tiny. I never like to hear that.
Bring back bad memories for you.
It really does. So it looks like they said, not sure about signal. Whenever you've got an event with this many people, signal can be effed unless you're on a, dedicated hardwire situation. So it seems to be coming in and out. So it looks pretty good right here. We're not going to be able to tell. I mean, that's women, so that's clearly not them.
Here, I can just pull this up right now because I was curious about this. The women's pro is also.
Well, here comes some people coming, it looks like. That is.
Whoa. That is. Some of those women getting caught up in the crowd of men right there that are going to get crushed.
That looked like Kate, not Kate, Zara.
Yeah, so
Zara
the women
just cut really by the thing. Yeah, go ahead and go to the do the thing you do, Anthony. Tell them to go to the stations. Type in there. We don't need to see the runs. Go to the stations.
I'm not even on this. I'm not going to type anything.
Okay, don't.
You can hear me say it. I don't want a written record of it,
Right. No, dude, I love it. I love going back and seeing now. Okay, so this is a rookie mistake. So now you're getting, come on, man. And I know this guy. This is Michael Nolan, who I love, who's my ethics partner. But Michael, even though you're not hearing this now, you don't go to the station late. Look, he's like 7 people deep. Come on, Michael. Hopefully he'll learn from the next time. He'll go straight to the section 2. Because if they don't come to this side, we're not even going to see them.
Yeah, it's been busy. I mean, I don't think Manchester's a fast course. It looks like they had a good setup, but with this amount of people, you're bobbing and weaving. You're like a lot of your time, you can't just spend zoned out going hard. You actually have to pay attention to where you're going and what it
You know who's
is.
going to be really happy if there's a lot of bobbing and weeding? You know who's going to be really happy?
Who's that?
Rich Ryan and Paleo.
But they're not the same division anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Rich Ryan and Paleo have the men's open world
Sorry,
record.
that's right. That's right. He still
And
doesn't. He still, he still doesn't want him to break that.
yeah. Looks
And
like there's Hunter and James Kelly side by side. I can't tell who that's in third, but I'm gonna go over to the watch
just
along. Let's see.
tell him to walk over there.
It looks like, yeah, Harry Thompson, James Kelly came in first, but Hunter looks like he cut him off for the first ski. So Hunter, and it was Jake Dearden and Marc Dean, that other team that I told you about. They were in third now. So they're in that third lane. So it's Hunter and Michael Sandbach in the first lane, James Kelly and Harry Thompson in the second lane, Jake Dearden and Marc Dean in the third lane. Right behind them, I mean, just a second back are a couple other teams. Tony Revell and Ciaran and Parkinson would be in the fourth lane. It looks like whoever's filming is focusing on the first three, though.
What do you think Hunter just did? 500?
No.
250?
Yeah, probably 250. If depending on who you are and what you're going to do here, some of the ski erg's a lot easier to transition on than like the rower. So the ski erg, they might say, hey, we're going to go 250s, but another way to do it could be if you're the stronger athlete, you start off with the 250, let the other person do a 500, and then they get a rest while you do another 250. So they get a little rest before they're running. You want your stronger athlete being the one going from the machine right into the run so that the other athlete can actually get a breather before the run. So it looks like they're doing 250s. I'd assume they're probably somewhere around 250s, maybe 300s. But it looks like they're going to have Sandy be the one that goes from the machine into the run if they keep up with 250s. I would have assumed that Hunter would be the one to do that because I assume Hunter's thought is that he's the stronger athlete here. So he should be the one to take that less rest period from ski to immediately into run.
And
we'll see what happens.
You can't see this clearly now, but I want to say when they started, if you looked at Hunter, if you look at his arms, his hands, and his feet, every pull is exactly like the previous one. And I was looking at, I think was it James next to him that looked more sort of jerky like guys do when they're just kind of like jerking it. And I think this is why Hunter's he's got this shit down to a science.
Well, I mean, that could just be time. Imagine how much time Hunter spent on this machine versus what others. A lot of people don't have a ski erg. And so
I guarantee you JK's got one or access to one.
But what I'm saying is I bet you Hunter's done 2 million meters plus on a ski erg. Right.
Well, but if you want to beat the goat, if you want to be in the hunt with these guys, that's what you got to do.
Oh no, I get that. I'm just saying, like,
this isn't like comparing elites to like Joe Blow off the couch that might not own a ski erg. This is like JK's a HYROX coach. He's got to have access to a ski erg.
There they go.
Let's count the seconds here. Looks like, what do you think? 4 seconds?
4
or 5 seconds between those two.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. Go to the next section.
Once this pops up, it is so packed there. Holy cow! It was a 4-second gap between. So Hunter Mcintyre and Michael Sandbach are the first two out, followed by Harry Thompson and James Kelly and Marc Dean, or Jake Dearden and Marc Dean. Those two were both 4 seconds behind Hunter, both those other teams. So, it looks like you have your top 3 teams. We'll see if they all stay up there. But, I mean, those were the teams everybody was excited about, right? So,
yeah, it looks like it doesn't matter. He went straight to the sleds after this, and it's already just packed.
Oh, wow.
See, he went straight there. Get that little kid out of the way. 2 little kids, just elbow them.
I'm gonna pull their splits up. I want to see what they're running. I don't put a lot of faith in the first run because the first run can be short, it can be long, whatever HYROX does to find the correct distance for the whole race. They put a lot of it in the first and last runs. But I do want to see what their pace is on the second run if once it pops up. It'll be good to oh man, this thing does not want to follow. Well,
somebody said
actually,
call on
well,
Tony. Is that Tony Revell, the third team? Is that what you said?
Tony Revell and Ciaran Parkinson
Ciaran.
are the
That's
fourth.
Ciaran.
Ciaran, they're the fourth team.
Come on, man. You're a world traveler.
Yeah, but I'm not a polyglot. I'm not a
Ooh, look at him. He
person
got
that
in. He got inside. Good job.
nice.
He
I'm
weaseled his
not a
way
person that
inside.
speaks a bunch of languages.
Is he wearing one of those vests, I hope? That's how you get in there. Except we don't usually get the black ones. We get like the blue ones. We're not HYROX Media, but we're somebody else media.
I'm gonna pull it up, especially on the runs. The women's pro is running right there right now, and there's 3 or 4 women trying to get into the Elite 15 for the women's race in Vienna, because this one found out this race does qualify you, even though it's not completely 2 weeks before Vienna. It is still allowed to be a qualifier for Vienna, even though it's only 12 days instead of over 2 weeks. But looks like the women's pro right now, Kate Davey is leading. She just finished the farmer carry at 46.51. And I believe behind her is Jade Skillen. And then you had Zara Piergiani and Beatrice Ardell.
Anthony Peressini.
Yeah, her flag says UK, so I don't know if it's pronounced that same way, like Piergiani, or if it's
of course, that's how you say it.
Well, that's how I would
how do you say how do you say Luca's name?
Luca?
Yeah.
I'm blanking on what his last name is right now.
See, this is the key, by the way. This is the key to getting into the HYROX zone as a photographer.
What?
Michael, I need to tell Michael Nolan, be a cute girl with a crop top. I think that's all Michael needs to do. Then he'll qualify. Here we go. Here comes the pony.
There we go.
And who's in second? Is that JK? Yep, that's Jake.
Yeah, Harry Thompson and Jake Dearden. Did they break halfway? Are they doing halfway splits?
No Rodigan said the first run is only marginally short than the other one. He said it's 50 meters roughly shorter.
Okay. Well, run number 2 was a 3:30, and I'm going to assume that's a full 1,000. So 3.5. So they're running a 5:38 pace, 5:38 per mile pace. If it's a full 1,000, I'm assuming it. I'm going to assume it is. Their ski erg for Hunter and Michael Sandbach was a 3:13. So that means with transitions, they were a 1:36 average pole pace per 500
on the erg.
On the erg, yeah. And that's a quick sled right there. That's their last one. They're out. Oh, Sandbach is walking. I'm just gonna get on him for that. He looked a little tired there though. Sled push, a minute 30. Looks like JK is out next. Uh-oh, looks like this third team had a little trouble with the sled. A little slow there. Do you think they came out too hard trying to push to keep up with those other teams?
Well, I was going to say, we don't know anything until the pull. But if Sandy was already walking out of there, that's yeah.
So yeah, if you have, I mean, when you're on a team like that, and you have somebody like Hunter, if I was a partner with Hunter or something, I'd be like, hey, on this run, they're running really hard. They can get a lot of time on the run, so they need to really focus on that. But on the run, maybe tell him, hey, I'm dying a little bit. Take a little extra on this next station. You got to be able to communicate and get it out. You'll have a plan going in, but everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So if something hits you a little harder than you expected it to, just communicate to your partner and say, hey, you got to take just a little bit extra. Give me an extra 10 seconds of rest. And
Mhm.
somebody like Hunter, he's capable of doing that. So I think if they can balance each other out as long as they communicate.
I
Let's see.
think
So next
Hunter
up is
I think Hunter being in this wave, I think brings the whole field up. These guys, like a bunch of these teams that we don't recognize, right? 13th through 15th place, whatever. I bet they're really excited just to be on the course with him.
yeah, they're going harder because they're like, hey, I'm gonna stick with him as long as I can, or they get pulled along. It's that like, you ever stand too close to a train track and you can feel it like tug you a little bit? Yeah.
But it's also kind of a treat, right? Like a lot of people, look up to him the same way you like people look up to Lauren. We know they're just quote unquote regular people, but these athletes a lot of times really it's a treat. Oh, cool. I'm in the same heat as Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I'm looking at the women's pro right now because I was curious how they were doing. Kate Davies still in first. Looks like she's 51-32 into the sandbag lunges, which is gonna put her total time eight. She's looking at maybe a 64, I'd say about a 64-minute total right now. Jade Skillen's right behind her, probably looking at like a 66, as long as they don't fade.
Wow, thirst traps in the on the live feed on the Instagram. The
What is
things I'd
it?
let him do to me. I think they're talking about Hunter. I don't know. What's up, River? Shout out Gene de Machine. I see him in the Instagram feed as well. That's my homie. He was in our fantasy league.
He was in our fantasy league. Had a
How
lot
did you
of
do?
bad
How
luck
did
in
you
our
do this
fantasy
year,
league.
buddy?
I made the playoffs and then had as the season went for me, exactly. I just I lost in the first round of the playoffs by like half a point. Just always bad. Always. It's too bad. It's too bad. I had bad luck. I'd have these great weeks and I'd be like the second or third most scoring team in our league that week, and then I'd face the first most scoring team, and
Yeah,
I'd
I've had that, dude. There's so many seasons that's happened for me. This season, everything worked out. I got really lucky. I had Mostert. Like, it's not like I could have predicted Mostert was going to like break the record for
oh
Dolphins
yeah.
touchdowns. He just like, it was my third or fourth back picked.
Yeah, you did awesome. You won the league. So
I did win the league. Congratulations to
yeah.
me. And I came in second in my other league, or
Oh
maybe third.
wow.
So it's just, yeah, I've never had, which means next year I'm going to suck.
Yeah. No, I had the most points in our league, most points scored against me, and I was the third or fourth most points scored.
Yeah, I've had
So
years like that. You play the wrong team. All right. So who got in? How behind are they on the sled there? I missed it. I was
so
looking at
yeah, it looks
comments.
like I mean, interesting. Usually they have to go to the furthest lane, but it
Get out of the
doesn't look like
way.
they went to the furthest lane here. Um, you don't tell the judge to get out of the way. The judge needs to be where they're at, making sure they're paying attention.
Maybe he's just hanging out though.
Yeah. This is like, I don't know. I want the judges to have reign. I hope they all have the ability to actually tell people, hey, you're not right. Like your sled's not all the way over. Your feet are crossing the line. Like get that, if it's not obviously a good rep, then that means it's bad.
Well, when these guys take off on the next run, we can talk about the new DECA rules and if you think they're going to be enforced.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that. So looking at this, Hunter McIntyre, Michael Sandbach, They were in at 15:37. Their second run was a 3:30, so 3 seconds slower than their run number two. So pretty consistent pace, but you'd expect it a little bit slower after the sled push, and that's what we got. They're on their last pole right now, and going into this station, James
Oh,
Kelly
wait,
and
here we
Harry
go.
Thompson
Here we
were
go. We
14
got
seconds behind.
okay, redheaded lady doing a good job judging. Good job.
Yeah,
Look at her. She's put her foot right there. Nice job. I thought she was
yeah,
just taking pictures earlier, but apparently she's a judge.
yeah.
Good job.
They're
Just you.
saying, yeah, you can't cross that line. That's like you see a lot, and it's in a lot of the different races. People are trying to go fast. They're tripping over things. They're falling
Uh-oh.
out. Like, but you're supposed to stay within that
All right, but that's
box.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. Good job, redheaded gal. If anybody who's watching knows who that is.
Uh,
Gene just joined our feed, by the way. Gene
oh,
Ramirez.
okay.
So
No,
welcome to the feed.
I do know who that girl is. She interviewed Lauren last year after World. She's like, I think she's the HYROX UK lady and like the Red Bull spokesperson too. God, I'm forgetting her name. Here, I'm gonna just because you asked, I'm gonna look her Instagram handle up and I'll tell you.
Okay, good job. Keep the viewers informed.
So let's see here.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can karmically tell Michael to move now because we can't see anything anymore. So go to the next one. All right, now he's going. There he goes. Um, I kind of want to hear him for a second. Let's unmute him for a second. Okay, he wasn't saying very much.
Let's see. I'm gonna find this lady. Sorry.
It's okay. I will just tell everybody that if you're just finding this channel for the first time, welcome to it. And we do a bunch of podcasts. We do a bunch of stuff on Instagram at Hybrid Fitness Media. So take a moment to click on your phone, your laptop there, to follow Hybrid Fitness Media. You can also check out some amazing coaching by the Hybrid Engine, who gave me a
Yeah,
really cool sticker.
and a shirt. Don't forget the shirt. I'm wearing our shirt right now. I love this thing. It's a very comfortable
I'm wearing
shirt.
VJ Shoes shirt, who
Okay.
don't have a hybrid shoe yet, I don't think.
I'll keep looking for this lady and I'll say it by the end of the broadcast here. But just to keep this going, yeah, I was gonna say, we really believe in our coaching, what we're doing and stuff. And the hybrid training style, I think it's for everyone. I think everyone can benefit from hybrid fitness. Don't be scared of it. It's not like super heavy stuff like CrossFit. It's, maybe if you enjoy running, you're from a running background and you want to prevent injuries, and you need your strength training, you can add that in. It's health. That's what it is. It's staying healthy. It's getting off the couch. It's doing everything you can to just be able to move your people. So we believe in the program, not only what we put out, but like any of these hybrid programs, a lot of them I think are really good. As long as it gets people healthy and moving. Um, so it looks like coming in here, they're going on to the burpee broad jump next.
What's the gap?
Last time we saw Hunter, it doesn't show me a gap right now because they're not in. Last time we saw Hunter in Stockholm, he got no rep on his burpees. So I want to see if anybody no reps him this time or if he cleans it up or what it is. So the last gap we saw was 20 seconds between Hunter and JK's team, and then another 30 seconds from JK's team to Jake Dearden and Marc Dean.
All right, in the comment on our comment section, Resolute Coffee says the lady's name is Gede. How would you pronounce that?
Gede? Let me look it up. Gede?
Yes.
Yeah. Gede Foster. Yeah, Yep.
Geed, Geeda, Jeed, Jada.
I've heard her name before, but I don't know. I'm gonna
Tell us
butcher
how
it
to
no matter how
pronounce
I
it.
say it.
Tell us how to pronounce it. Brian from Resolute Coffee. Gene
Yeah,
says this is better. I can watch on the TV. That's what you want. You want the YouTube on your big TV.
that's right. Okay, here we go. Here's Hunter going through his burpees. Looks like his hands are staying in place, so maybe he fixed it a little.
This is like a
Ooh,
frog thing. What the hell is he doing? I've never
no,
seen
I
this
mean that's what he
before.
does, but he's double tapping. Ooh, there's his double tap hand placement.
No,
So he's still getting away with
he
it a
usually
little.
kind of mini Supermans it. That's his problem, isn't it?
No, the issue that he has with his burpees, the reason he gets no reps is because he goes down and he touches the ground within the rules, within the forearm length of his foot. But then when he goes to put his chest on the ground, he moves his hands up and out, gives him about an extra 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters every single burpee because it lets him fall forward a little bit. So if you watch when he does his burpees, like at Stockholm, he put his hand on the ground, and then when his chest went to the ground, his hands moved up. You move your hands up when you're on the ground. Now his foot can go higher and his next burpee, so he gets extra space. He's like, I listened to a lot of his podcasts and his things, and he said he
I
was
see
moving
no
it
judge, by the
outward.
way, on JK's team. He might be doing.
I see no judge on them either, but he's not moving his hands. Like his hands stay in one spot, you see, and he's not stepping up past his hands. So that's perfectly fine.
Right, but I don't like the fact that they can't have these are like the elite doubles teams and there's no judge
Yeah.
on them.
I mean, we all love the world records and everything, but if you have a limited amount of judges, you're putting your judges like yes on the pro weights and the pro things like the doubles pro, but the individual doubles, things that are gonna people are trying to qualify for money events like the Elite 15, that's where they're gonna put their focus, not necessarily on these fun records, you know. So
No, I agree, but are they do they I don't know. I don't know. I hear what you're saying.
yeah. So just for the women's pro, since we can't see the men now, they're out running. The women's pro, Kate Davey got into the wall balls just over an hour. So she'll probably finish around a 104. I think that's what I said earlier. So yay. And then Jade Skillen is kind of falling back a little minute, 2.5 minutes behind her, 225. So she'll probably finish a 106, 10, yeah, about 106. Looks like Jade or Kate Davey just finished 104.19.
Does that get her in? What's the time for the
I
women?
Yeah, that's pretty close. I don't think that's I think that's like top 20, but not top 15.
All right, I'll have a look while you're looking at
Yep,
other stuff.
it is. So 104.19 is what she just got. That is 1 second behind Rebecca Nader. So Kate Davey will move up to 20th place.
What was
I
she
do
before?
not
Did she already had a good time before, right?
Yeah, so previously in Stockholm, she was a 105.27, which means she improved by a minute eight. Uh, but she only improved 3 places.
Do you
So
want to
she's
look
up
at
to
her? Do
20th
you want to look at
place.
her sleds real quick to kind of give us an idea what the women's individual sleds were like?
Yeah, let's pull it up. So her sled 251. I mean, European sleds, that's a little fast, but still good. 251 under 3 minutes. Sled pull 355. The elite women in Europe are about under 4 minutes, pretty standard sled times. Um, Looking at her run, she was a
Look at
330,
Michael. Look at Michael
354.
go. It's like sticking his hands between people. Good job, Michael. Sorry, I
So
was getting excited.
you're good. So, I mean, it looks like her runs were pretty consistent. It just comes down to I don't know what the transitions were. Maybe the course was a little too crowded for her or something. Um, but it puts her in 20th place. Now, I don't think 20th place is gonna get her into Vienna because right now, from what I know, like only 2 women are not gonna be in from the top 15 are not gonna be in Vienna, which means it'll only roll down to 17th, which is Chris Rogalski. So
How do you say that last
though
name?
Chris Rogalski.
Good job.
Um, so I, which means that if she just ran a 104.19, she was only 6 seconds off of that place. But that's the timing. So I'm hoping I was hoping we get some people in there. We have for the hybrid engine, I was curious if we were going to get some of our athletes into the top 15 if we could get up to 5 of them, which would be one third of the women's elite field be on our program.
Nice. Who's doing your program? Are you allowed to say?
Well, I mean, I can obviously say my wife Lauren, and
Lauren
then
who's that?
Lauren Weeks,
Lauren Weeks. Okay, cool.
and
She's
then
good.
yeah, and then uh I do personal training with Lauren Griffith as well. So she's in. She's ran the fastest time from a pro wave this year, not from the elite waves, but she'll be fighting for a top 5 to get into that world championship in Vienna. And then Alondra Greenlee's been following our program for a while. So um that's 3. And then I don't know if the other 2 want me to say, so I'm not gonna
Okay,
say
that's
them,
fine.
but they're we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the top 20 and 5 in the top 25. So 3 in the top 15, 4 in the top 20, 5 in the top 25. Yeah. They're fun to work with. It's fun. I uh I have another like I have a professional job, and so I get to work with the athletes training wise is fun.
What do you
Uh
think? What do you think Hunter's per pull is? I just counted, believe it or not, while you were talking to me. Hunter was 35 pulls before JK got there.
35 pulls. So Hunter's probably pulling his stroke rate for a man his size should be somewhere in the 25 to 30 range. So maybe about a 27 is per minute. So his actual spacing between them is a minute and 1 second. So you said he's pulled 35 times.
I might have missed one, but about 30,
So
somewhere between 34 and 36.
okay, so he's got say it's 34, there's a minute and 1 second ahead of them, plus time getting in and out or into the rower. I'd say he's probably pulling a 33 stroke rate, kind of a higher stroke rate, but if they lowered the damper on it um and maybe that's what he likes to pull higher. I mean, he's more aerobic, so more likely than not that's what he would pull. So he's probably what do you think they did, a 500 there before they switched?
Yeah.
So on the rower, I would assume they're not going to switch again. But maybe they can. Maybe they will switch again.
Yeah. I counted his first pull, and then I didn't count JK until he made his first pull. I ignored the time of getting in the rower.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, these splits are, the difference between when they cross that in arch. So not necessarily when they're into the rower.
There's someone on the Instagram feed called HYROX Rookie. So next year, does he change his name? HYROX Sophomore?
A lot of people just think if they're not a pro, then they're a rookie.
Yeah, I guess.
I think the better term would be apprentice or novice or something. Yeah, they just did one pull. So that was pretty good. That was a fast, man, they're moving. They must have been 300 meters ahead of
I
these
could be reading
guys in
into this, but
second.
I could be reading into this, but the look in JK's face was, "Oh fuck, we'll never catch these guys." When he
Yeah,
looked up and saw
I saw the
off.
look at his face and I was like, wow. He's
I mean,
saying they're having a rough time. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's interesting because people are all in the comments saying, "Wow, I'm tired just watching," or "That's amazing," and it's like when you're up close, it's even more impressive. I mean, I get, whenever I get to be in there and watching, whether it's Hunter or Lauren and Meg, I'm like, I shake my head like, holy moly, just watching people just fucking move.
Their output.
Yes.
So
And speed, you know what I mean? When I watch them run after doing this stuff, when, you see me like laying on the ground after half a dozen wall balls.
yeah. No, I mean, they are moving. I was listening to like something that Matt Frazier used to do, like his test before the games, like to let him know if he's ready or not. And I was thinking about it, I was like, I'm pretty sure Hunter can do that, but I think he can do it faster too. And I think a lot of these athletes probably could. So the test was a minute 40 on, 20 seconds rest, for 6 rounds
On the rower?
or 5 rounds, yeah, on the rower, and then a 2 minute rest, and then another 4 rounds of that. And it's a pre-programmed workout in every Concept 2 rower. So you can just go to like select workout, and it's a pre-programmed one. So in the end, you end up doing 9 rounds of a minute 40 on, 20 seconds off. Matt Frazier said what he does is 500 meters in that minute 40, which means he's pulling a minute 40 for every interval. And I'm pretty sure few, maybe half or a third of the field in the HYROX could finish that workout at under a minute 40 per interval.
Speaking of CrossFit athletes, you want to talk about the latest news, the latest games athlete to commit?
Oh, Ciaran O'Connell.
Yeah. So I posted, how do you think she's going to do? And people are saying this and that and the other. And
Did
don't
you
you think,
did
don't
you
you think
post it where she's gonna be at?
exactly,
You said in the
exactly.
spring.
Do you think someone has to do it at least once in competition to just crush it? Or you think she can come out of the gate her first time?
I don't know how well she can simulate it. I
But
think
even Sims, you know what a difference it is. The runs aren't the
yeah.
same, the pressure's on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So here's my thought on it. Like I remember being in Vegas 2021, and I walked by you while you were interviewing Danielle Brandon, and you're like, "Do you think you could beat these women?" And she's like, "Yeah, absolutely, fuck yeah!" Like I was
Is
like,
that
"No,
what
you
she
can't."
said?
Something like that. So and my only thought was, "No, you can't. You can't run fast enough."
I don't remember her
Like
saying that. I'll have to find that interview, but
I don't know if you were interviewing her. I walked by
oh,
you
like I
and
was
she
just
was
talking.
talking. Yeah. Uh, and so like I believe, yeah, there could be people that just come out of nowhere and do it. And Christy Aramo is not coming out of nowhere. She's very high level athlete, 6 times games athlete. She runs, so she has the capacity to do it. Like, and if you watch her videos and stuff, like she's ran a 3:04 marathon. That's a average 7 minute pace. I would assume in her first HYROX, that pace, that 7 minute pace, is probably what she's going to be running though. And I just in the women's field, a 7 minute average pace, even if you like optimize all the stations, look how fast Hunter's going. Look at him go. They're running with them.
Oh,
Those are
just
70, supposed to be 70 pounds.
you say supposed to be. Is it you think it's something else?
I don't know. I don't they are they
Is
53s?
he
Look how
even going to
fast he
trade?
doesn't
Michael can't keep up, and Michael's
he
behind
doesn't
him.
he doesn't do that in his individual race right there, that running. So I'm just curious. Holy cow, look at him go. That's straining on the shoulders. But I guess, if you know that you don't have to
Finally put
do
him
the whole
down.
thing and you can switch it off, then maybe that's the way to look at him run
So Harry and James were only 2 seconds slower on the rower, 3:35 and 3:37, but unfortunately they
yeah,
were already 2 minutes behind.
for a minute. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a faster run for these guys coming off the rower too. And that is a fast farmer carry. Holy cow. Anyway, what I was saying is I think Chris Ramos gonna do really well. But I think in Houston, she's gonna crush the sled, she's gonna crush the stations, probably gonna have like a 26 total minutes on the stations, but maybe 27 total minutes. But I think she's gonna run a 7 minute mile for each of her runs, which is 35 minutes of running. So that'll put her at a 102 plus whatever the rock zone is, which assume 2 to 3 minutes, maybe more. So I'm thinking she'll come out, have a very good time of like 65, 66 minutes. And if she takes that and goes and does another one, she might break into this. The women's top 15 right now is so fast. Like I think back at, 3, 4 years ago, a 10 right now the 15th place woman is a 104.01. Like
Well,
that would have been winning HYROX Worlds. You would have
here's
set world records
here's the
before last
deal.
year.
If she
Yeah.
gets into the Elite 15, it's real good news for us because then Morning Chalk Up and Barbend and everybody are doing a lot more than just like a quick results recap. They're gonna start, because she'd be kind of, because like the other people that have done it were just like fucking around, right? Like Ricky tried it, but he's not going to keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
She's retired from the game, so she's going to put some effort
Well,
into this.
and so that's I'm curious whether this is just like to help their business out because they have, a CrossFit and they do hybrid training. And so is this just to help their business out to show that she can do the races, or is she actually looking to compete? I don't think she's looking to compete anymore, but maybe she is. I don't know her that well, actually. I never met her. Lauren met her at Spartan Games 1. And actually I think it was um I think Christy reached out when she was going to do a HYROX, reached out to Lauren and asked her a few questions. So, um, you know, uh, I think they're going to do really well. Uh, I just don't know if, it's getting a lot harder to break into these Elite 15s than it was 2, 3 years ago.
Well, she's definitely trying to cash in on hybrid. If you look at the last 4 or 5 videos, they're all titled hybrid or HYROX, which is smart on her part, right?
Yeah.
But and rather, they can both be true. Once she does it and either cracks the top 15 or gets close, how can she not be like, well, shoot, I can win some money, I can do good by my sponsors, et cetera, get more sponsors. So I think both can be true.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like some random, I'm trying to think who's done it, that's like whatever, you know what I mean? Like when you know what I mean? Like even when Sam Briggs showed up to do the virtual one or the what, it was like what, it was kind of a whatever for her, right?
Well, I mean, so I rewatched that one actually recently. I like that Elite 12 race.
The
So
the
it was
running on the
Yeah, so that one originally they had different runners. They were not assault runners. It was the top 5 men and women scores from that year, and then one wild card from in each men and women. Uh, and that was what made up the Elite 12. And that was the COVID year. So it was, you weren't allowed to be in big spaces. Everybody had to get nostril tests with something poking their brain, and uh, they all flew to Hamburg for it. It's a very small space. But they ended up running them on assault runners because when they had these other runners that they were supposed to use, these like big contraptions, um, I remember Lauren telling me she got on those and it was so hard to run. And she was the smallest person in the field that
you
like
did, so you didn't go with her?
no,
Because this is
I didn't go with
pre-Lily,
them.
right?
It was pre-Lily, but it was in Germany and we weren't allowed to fly at the time. Like you had to get all these,
Oh
she
yeah,
had to
that's
get a
right.
letter. She had to get a letter from HYROX saying, I'm a professional athlete. I'm going there for a world championship. Uh, you please let me into your country. Like that was, and she had to take COVID tests, like several of them before she was allowed to go. And then when she was there and when they were on site. So yeah, it was during lockdown. Uh, so anyway, she gets there and does it, and it was a cool race, but they ended up switching out what treadmills they were using because there was such an advantage. Look how fast Hunter is going. Is that Hunter or Sandy? That's Hunter. Look at those lunges. Big steps. Look at him go. Is he extending? I don't know if he's extending at the top there. He's a little, ooh.
On the double, sorry, on the farmers, Hunter and Sandy did it in 108. The second team was Fabian Rascaniris and Mark Lynch at 117, and they are apparently older than Michael and Hunter. And then Harry and James were 122. So whatever time they made up in the previous one, they lost back.
Yeah, they did. Looks like Harry and James are about a minute 25 back now. They're bleeding time on every station and every run.
Mm.
That's too bad.
Everybody's telling Michael to head to the wall balls.
Yeah.
Go to the wall balls. That's how they say it over there.
The Wobbles.
They're wall balls.
I forgot what we were
Somebody
talking
else.
about
Wait for
before
Ciaran.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to see from Hunter that you're not seeing?
Extension of the hip at the top. I mean, this could be a bad angle. Earlier, it looked like he was just hunched over while he was walking. And so that hip is curved in like this as your feet are going instead of extended straight up. It was just hard to see there. Maybe it was better. Maybe it was a bad angle. You never know unless you're actually on site.
Somebody wrote, so no need to lock the hips. Okay, noted.
Oh, so I mean, yeah. I mean, other people were seeing it too. I mean, James Kelly's got really good reps. Watching his reps. I wish the camera guy would just put it on them, though. We can't see him. I don't know what he's looking at. This other camera guy. Turn it to the right.
Come on, Michael. Go to the wall balls, buddy.
There we go. I wanted to see JK and Harry Thompson doing it. Yeah, see, they got better extension. It's just, yeah, it's hard to see with what's all going on. Yeah, he's not standing up at the hip either. Yeah, it's just that final flexion of the glute at the top that'll get your hip to extend. All right, looks like they're heading over to the wall balls. That'll be the end of it. In terms of time, let's see. Hunter and Michael were out of the sandbag lunges at 43.15, out of the rock zone at 43.15. So assuming their next run is another 3.5, and their wall balls are 3:15, 3.5, add 7 minutes, they're looking at close to 50. So it's going to be a push for them to break 50 minutes. They are definitely going to get the world record, but just in terms of how quick they're going to set it is the question. We can go see.
They were 208 on the lunges, and Harry and James were 220.
Okay. So just for reference, he's going to probably, with the pro weights, it looks like they're going to hit about 50 minutes, maybe a little bit less. I think Hunter's gone like 49.50 with Anas using the open weights last time. And Rich and Paleo's record with the open weights, not the pro weights, is 48.36. And last time with the open weights in Los Angeles, Hunter went 48.48. So they're not going to beat the open weight record, but they should have the men's pro double record, which currently sits at 54.29. They're looking at like a 50-minute, maybe possibly breaking 50-minute barrier. So
yeah, so he was up there trying to get the wall balls and he left. So I think he's trying to go to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manchester last year, I could tell you the numbers, but I think they said 13,000. I think it was actually 10,000 finishers or 9,900 finishers. So this year it's probably even bigger.
So many people there. This is great for the sport. This many people interested in it is just fantastic.
There's Jade. And there's somebody I know. Somebody I know.
Oh, is that the announcer lady, Lauren? Was that announcing Worlds last year?
Looked like her, but I don't think that's her.
Oh.
I think it's somebody else that I know. I can't. He's probably talking about it. He is Okay, so we've got some.
Oh, they're on the wall balls. I don't know if Sandy started or if Hunter started and now Sandy's going, but looks like they're moving. So a good thing here would be like, don't put the ball down. Even between, like, if you are going to switch, don't put it down. No reason to. So Sandy's had some memorable moments with the wall ball before.
Yes, he has.
So a good strategy here would be uh, for Hunter to let Sandy do as many wall balls as he can, and then when he needs a break,
Hunter
assuming
just
he should need a
finishes.
break, let Hunter finish. Yeah. That should
Yeah,
help
because
them
Hunter's always gone
mentally.
first in all these, but I think what your theory makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's why you're a coach. You're a smart dude.
Strategy sessions. So they have less than 3 minutes from the time they got into wall balls to break the 50-minute mark. And with that kind of transition, it's not going to happen. It looks like they're probably going to be about 50-15, 50-10 maybe.
If you break the open record with the pro rates, that's pretty sick. That's like,
Yeah,
that's
they're
like
going to be about,
yeah.
they're gonna be about a minute and a half off that.
Yeah, we have no idea what his form is like. I mean, he looks deep enough from here, but we can't really tell. People
Hunter's
are talking about
pretty good on depth
yeah, I think
with
so
his wall
too.
balls.
I think
I don't think I've ever seen him as a violator of the wall ball standard. Like, he does really well with it. With how much he runs, his mobility is pretty good for that. I mean, he's got a narrow squat stance. He can open up though. He's just guy can move. He's got an amazing engine.
I'd say he has a hybrid engine.
Running a V8, V10, V12. I don't know. I don't know cars. I was trying to make a car analogy. I don't know cars, so probably.
Well, I think V8's pretty big, and I think like big old trucks maybe have a V12. I think.
Yeah, he's moving. He should finish it out here. Looks like JK and Harry Thompson are going to beat the old world record, but there's
But
still
you
about
don't
a
get
minute and a
credit
half
for
or
it.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Minute and a half behind Hunter and Sandbach. Is it Sandbach, Sandbach? How do you say his last name?
It's
Sandbach?
It's Sandbach. He corrected me when I asked him. You want to say Bach because that actually might have been Lauren, the announcer girl. Now that I think about it, it might have been her because from here it looked like her. Yes, because you want to say Bach like Bach the composer, but it's Sandbach. But then you just call him Sandy.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you're going now, Michael Nolan. I think he's just trying to get the finishers.
So they finished at 50-18. I was 3 seconds off. 50-18. Man, they're not nice to Hunter in these comments.
No, there's only a few. Most of them love him. There's always a few haters.
Yeah.
Where did you see the hate? Oh, Hunter shags dogs. That's just somebody fucking around, I think.
I know. I've seen a few other ones, but that was funny.
Hey, side note, somebody just suggested that the name of the show with VJ that I do is called Coffee Break because I'm always taking a coffee break. What do you think about that for a name?
I like Coffee Break, but when I hear shows like that, so when I was at my last engineering job, we had an idea to have I worked with a lot of geologists and geotechnical engineers, and we had this idea to have a podcast where we would drink a beer and rate the beer, but also talk about rocks and geology and geotechnical
that would be a huge
engineering
hit.
and stuff. And so if you're gonna call it Coffee Break, you need to have a different coffee every time, and you got to rate the coffee. You guys got to be.
I know, but the problem is he doesn't even drink coffee. That's the problem.
Well,
he's a tea guy.
There you go. See, I don't drink beer, and that So the whole
Let's pull it up.
here.
Let's pull up the rankings as a. Oop, that's not what we want. I always get
You're
this
on the wrong
wrong.
season. You're on the wrong season. You're on
Calm
18,
down.
19
Calm
season.
down. I'm finding it.
The big yellow bar at the
Big yellow
top
bar.
right.
There we go. Very pretty. Men's. Let's check the women first because I'm curious about the
Oh, Kate
gals.
Davey won. Yep.
Just want to kind of see the rest.
Yep. 106.45 for Jade. 110.06. Ooh, I wonder what happened to Zara. I wonder if something happened. That's not a great one for her. Maybe she just kind of realized she wasn't going to get it and phoned it in, but hopefully not. That's tough. It's like some of the women had a tough race. Pro doubles. The men's pro is going next. Actually, I think they're going right now. I don't know who's racing in men's pro though. Yeah, the men's pro. Oh, Graham is racing men's pro, not men's doubles. And Florian Gast as well.
So we got our
Those are
post
two.
completely wrong.
So those are two guys that were in the Elite 15, but are no longer in the Elite 15. Um,
No, let's see.
Graham Holiday.
Yeah, Graham,
Currently
Florian, and
leading.
Harry were supposed to do singles, but Harry ended up being in doubles. Now will he regret it?
I don't know, maybe. So Graham is currently leading by 1 second over Florian Gast. I don't know how they're going to do. Let's see. Let's go look at the men's Elite 15
You going to pull it
and
up on
where they're
here?
at. Yeah, you can pull it up. Just hit the major qualification ranking
Major qualifications.
and scroll down to the men.
And scroll down to the men.
There you go. So Graham is 2 places out. So he's looking to improve and get back into the Elite 15. But I don't think Lucas Storath is going to take his spot to Vienna. So maybe Graham will get the roll down.
What have you, Vienna, is Vienna next week or in 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
So who in this first 11 is gonna skip it? Anybody?
I haven't heard if Ryland's going. I don't think Hunter's not going to Vienna. He said that. If he does the next major, it's just going to be DC.
And Ryland, we don't know.
Ryland, we don't know. I'm assuming most of those others are yeses. I don't know if Magida is.
Let's
Let's
do a little research. I'm gonna get my phone out. I know these people.
I think Magida probably is. I don't know if Tim is going, and then that Masters race that produced two people in the Elite 15. Thomas and Lucas. Thomas might go. I'm not sure Lucas will participate.
I mean, we know Magita's got his home race coming up, right? So is he going to go to Vienna too? That's the question.
Yeah, that's what I don't know if Magita's going to go to Vienna because he wants to focus on DC, but Hunter's not going to Vienna. He has his qualification, and Hunter says he just wants to go to DC to, I believe his words were, stomp on Magita in his hometown.
Wow. That sounds like something he would say.
Yeah.
I just asked them both, but I feel like Magita would go to Vienna because this is just me completely speculating, but can he afford to go and can he get time away from work? These are the things I think about for people, right? And it's his own business, and I think he can afford to go, and I think he wants to try to win money, and I think he wants to prove he deserves to be up there with big boys. So I say he goes. That's my thought.
Yeah. I think Tobias, this will be the one that he goes to.
Tobias
well.
Loudvine.
Loudvine. So
Rich and Ryan both going, right? Both members
yes,
of Ermer training.
I believe so.
And then Meg and Lauren both going, right?
Lauren's going. Yep.
Men's got to be going, right?
Yep.
Bell not going, so that opens up a spot.
Bell not going.
I'm gonna bet Camilla and Vivian are going, right?
Yeah. I actually think out of the top 15 women, there's only two that I know aren't going, and that's Bell's one of them. I don't know if the other one has said something, so I'm not going to say something. But um, right now for the women, I think it only rolls down to 17.
All right. Well, listen, man. Good chat as always.
So, you know what I think of every time I see Tobias Lotvine?
What do you see?
For some reason, it connects to me with Loudon Swain.
Well, well, if you want to hear some amazing wrestling talk about the all right, just heard back from Magida. He will be there. My assumption was correct.
Yeah.
So he's there. Rylan, we don't know. But yeah, go check out the hybrid training, get trained by the guy and the gal,
Hybrid engine. Yeah.
the hybrid engine that train one of the best bloody hybrid racers we've ever seen in Lauren Weeks.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop.